Ah, I have access.
Hello, hello, hello. So this is our Skyrim load order for November. You'll notice I'm focusing largely on Skyland, a little bit on skeletons, and then just a number of other things that I have thrown in for fun. I started to do this show a while back, a week or so ago, but then I found some things that were, I guess, not satisfactory. But I think we've got it worked out now. This game, I've only been playing it, let's see, I tested and then I restarted my game. So if I don't include my testing, I've only been playing this for a few hours, maybe about three to 4 hours. But I did testing beforehand to make sure that everything was working, that we could move around, that we could travel to the different towns, different villages. I traveled to all those. I actually took hours doing that kind of thing. So I know in that sense that the game works. That does not mean that there would never be any other issue. We may, as we play through this, find other issues. So I do want to warn you about that. And there are a few mods here that are newer to me. So it's just something to be aware of. But, like I said, I did test it. We're moving around the game fine. And I haven't had any trouble as far as just traveling and going around the game. No crashes from any of that. Matter of fact, my biggest problem here a week or two ago when I was trying to set this up and I was wanting to do a load order for this, I couldn't do it because I ran into some things, some water issues that I didn't like. So we had to try some more water stuff, and there was some weather stuff and different things. When I get back up to the top, I'll come back down and we'll talk about a few things that are different, just to point them out to you, not that it's a big deal. You'll notice a lot of my core mods are the same. I keep those a lot of times because I enjoy them. So that's what I do. But let's keep going up to the top. Now there's some things here that may make more sense than others. Nonetheless, like I said, I will mention those when we come back down. I just want to do, in the first couple of minutes, I want to give you a chance to see the load order. That way, if you're not interested in anything else, you don't have to watch the rest of the video. I try to be as considerate as I can be, okay? All right, so we're going to go down and talk about some of this. A lot of this you've seen me use before. This is the untarnished UI. I really love it. I'm not using it in our shows because it can mess up the Creation Club stuff. It really doesn't mess it up. What I mean is it messes up the text so that you can't read the text. I don't care about that because when I'm playing the game, I love this UI. Okay, I do. I love it. It's so clean. It's just nice. Okay, let's move on before I talk too much about it because I really, really do like that style of UI. The Skyland main menu, I mean, come on, I did a show on it. It's just nice. It's nice. It's nice to have the different music. It's very cool. Let's see, nothing really new here except I did throw in the Forgotten Retext project. I'm trying to cover as much as I can. I have the High Poly project. The one thing I found in all my doing, looking at Skyland and all these mods, they don't touch the big urns in the dungeons. And I was totally blown away that I was going through dungeons and finding these ugly vanilla urns. So I had to hunt down this mod and plug it in. Now, it does have a few other things in this mod. I think it's the little, what does it say here? The small lootable urns. But I have them replaced in another mod down here. So the reason this is up high is so it would just replace the big urns in the dungeons. Rallies all the things. The skeleton, yeah, I'm putting some effort into my skeletons because, well, you'll see why down below. I like the good looking skeletons though. This is a If you like the skellies, I mean, this makes them look good. Anyway, El Sopa's HD collection, it does a lot of stuff and it's really great. I was just very surprised that El Sopa and Rowley's, neither one touched this urn. It really surprised me. Plus, beyond them, look at all these other mods. Well, the SMIMs don't count, but the Retex and the High Poly, but they did not touch the urns. Now this is a bigger fantasy flora takeover. My focus here in this game was to really make a pretty game, as pretty as I could. And when I ran out of other things to do, then I put in a few NPC replacers. It's my favorite doors, of course. These are the claws. I like these claws. I like these dragons. I think these dragons, it just brings a nice change to the game. The potions are great. Okay, maybe I'm overdoing it. I went as far to get rugs, but the rugs look good. I wanted the enchanting table and the alchemy table to look a little different, so I got this. I like this. There's probably something better somewhere that I haven't picked up, and maybe we can make a note of that for later. But I thought this was good. I like this. Of course, there's embers, wild horses with the fluffworks, the ultimate fire, tundra trees, the wonderful chicken replacer. I did a little show on that. Hopefully you've seen that by now. The unique skulls. This is to make them look good too. Let's see. El Sopa's HD Noble Furniture. Now, I don't think... Let's go back up here. I don't think that was covered in this. If it was, then I've made a silly mistake. No, I don't see Noble Furniture included in that. So, I am basically going off the descriptions, though. So, I'm hoping the descriptions are fairly accurate. Either way, this is a very small mod. Now, here is the HD Dark Elf Urns. Again, I don't think it was in this pack. Somebody had complained that so many of my mods were in bundles. That may be true, but a lot of times the bundles we find are not strictly made for us, so they're not exactly what we want. Let's see. So I don't see anything about the Dark Elf Urn here, so I think I'm okay with that as well. I'm just pointing these things out, and it helps me to double check too. This is the new, the Locomotion. There's a bunch of varieties of these, but this one, I did like this one the best, that someone had mentioned. And then we have the photorealistic ash piles, the insects. This replaces just that one tablecloth, but it does look really good. Let's see. I like to change up my candles. I'm doing the purple ones. I'm still liking, digging the happy little forest with the happy little trees and the happy little shrubs, I think it is, yeah. Yeah, overall, I'm still liking that. Now, if we find any issues with it, we'll deal with that. In looking at grass, I was trying a bunch of different grass mods, and they were either too much, like in places, there would be like a wheat field, in places, and it would be too much, or they just didn't seem right. And I did try, like with the landscape fixes for grass mods, I did try the Gracious or Gracious mod, and it seemed to overdo the work. It seemed to take away too much grass in places, so I stopped using it. But I really like Marie's Realistic Grass Field. It's just basic grass. And it's a small mod. It does a great job, and it doesn't overdo it. And it doesn't give you any FPS hit, which, to be honest, some of the bigger grass mods can give you an FPS hit, especially when you're changing a whole bunch of stuff. By the way, let me hold on just a second. 149. We're using 149 of 150 mods, okay? So we are almost at our max mod here, and you'll notice we don't have a lot of space left. We have a little, but not a lot. So I wanted you to see that. I am using Azurite Weathers. I just thought it would be fun to do a different weather, and I would say so far it looks really good. Pardon me for pausing, but I was like, I just lost track of what I wanted to say, but I would say this looks really good. Now this is the 1K version. Now I am doctoring my game up beyond the weather a little bit with Draco's Clouds and Auroras. I did have Draco's Moons, but I found this Occult Eye Moon I've been meaning to try for a while. And it is super cool. It is, you know how I like the big crazy moon in Fallout 4, and I even have, hold on, let me go down here. I even have the big moon mod here. Well, this mod is high def enough that the moon looks great, and it looks like this giant moon eye looking down on you. It's really, really cool. Then there's Draco's Beautiful Cosmos. I think that's very nice. So some of this is handled, you know, like the night sky, and some of this is actually handled in Skyland. And Azurite Weathers handle some things. I didn't read through all of this. Well, I did originally, but I haven't now. You know, I haven't in a little bit. But see, it also says that it has Galaxy and Stars from Cathedral Weathers. But I'm kind of overwriting some of that because I wanted to. Draco's Clouds look really nice, and so these Auroras and the Cosmos looks really nice. I'm not putting down the others, but I just wanted to do something different. I'm still using LH's Natural Sun and Sun Glare. There is another sun mod out there, and I've forgotten the name of it. It's good too, but I still like LH's a little better. Lightning, Minty's Lightning, I just threw it in here. I had to have it for fun. This is Draco's Improved Atmosphere. You'll get some nice looking skies with this. I think it's very cool. I'm always using Obsidian Mountain Fogs. And matter of fact, I think, does this even mention Obsidian Mountain Fogs? I think it says it's compatible with it. Recommendations, Obsidian Mountain Fogs. So there you go. That kind of explains that. Let's see. Then we have the big moons, and we have this improved shadows and volumetric lighting. I just wanted to try this, and I know there's probably some good and bad to it. There's some downside to it, and it mentions here something about the sun position not always making sense. But so far, I think I've kind of liked it, and it's a small mod. It's not big at all. I mean, it's under 1 kilobyte. It's 160 bytes. You'll notice when I'm casting Strange Runes, gives you those little runes in your hand. It's very cool. I replaced my Draugrs with skeletons. This is why I put so much effort into my skeletons. That's the new random alternate start that I'm using. Was this? I think this was Snipey 360. Yeah. Yeah. So they ported this over, and it's very cool, and they give all credit to those folks. So I would not take away from that. Okay, so beyond that, we are doing Cities of the North. I've got the smaller version of the Whiterun City of Trees and Unique Bridges. I like this revisited because it sort of adds some flair to some old dungeons we've done a lot. You know, Bleak Falls, Euston Grove, Ember Shard, Steep Fall, Halted Stream Camp. It just kind of freshens them up a little bit for us. Let's see, the Nord War stuff. I still love the Nord War stuff. The bundles that people put out with all the Nord War stuff. Here's the thing about bundles. When you get a bundle, you're getting something that someone made for themselves, and they like all of it. And I'm totally down for that. That's wonderful. It's a great thing, and I appreciate them sharing those bundles. But for me, I never find the bundle that's exactly what I want. That's why you'll see me still using these mods, because there is a bundle that covers these things exactly the way I want. And then there is the same is true for some of the graphics and some of the weather and things like that. The bundles are great. I'm glad we have those as an option. But those bundles really don't always fit everything the way I want. So that's why I end up doing things this way. So I have the Nightingale here. I think this is a cool Nightingale look. This is some variations, mages and monks. This is a Daedric armor I thought would be cool. Let's see. I am doing armored clothing because my guy is being more of a caster. I did the animated armory because I think this has some cool weapons in it. The main thing I like are the chain whips, but it also has other things, which is very cool. I like this sword and shield and bow from Nightingale Forever. I like these circlets. Now here we're going to get into some little NPC replacers. I did Kaeliles. I'm trying to say that properly. I did Vigen all-in-one, Olfina. I did Pandorables Shield Sisters. I couldn't fit in one of the big Pandorables. So what I did was I took some little ones that I like and threw them in here. And you'll see those there. I'm using that Saranaholic because it's my favorite. This is actually from Wickwa, Elisif the fairest of them all. The Handsome Courier, that's a good mod. And who's that from? Trip the Rift. Okay. So it's really good. Let's see. Now we're getting down into... I did do this follower, Sarana, as... I'm going to say Satia, whatever her name is. Doesn't matter. And Jarl Elisif the Fair. So that I actually have 2 followers that are available to me if I decide to use them. And then we're going to get into our body and eyes and all that stuff. I am trying these tent masks. I'm going to be honest and say I'm not 100% sure I can tell that much difference. So, you know, it's there. And it's supposed to provide a little, it says it will replace eye tint, forehead color, and lip color. So, I don't know if it's that big a deal or not. I'm trying it. I've been trying it for a while. Okay, so I ended up with some high quality H2O after trying a couple of water mods, and I did some shows on those, so you'll see those. You should have seen those before now, really. And then animated Forge Water, quality cube maps. This is my animation. I finally went back to Dualson animation. And the reason is the other animation replacers I was trying, the one I liked, it causes the bodies to get up and walk when they're dead sometimes, and I find that to be creepy, and it's kind of immersion breaking, which I'm not usually into immersion, but just having my foes stand back up and walk in place is kind of weird. I am using Brachiomichers XP32 Maximum Skeleton here. It does not really, I'm not trying to put it down, it does not really support BBP or TBBP, even though it says it does. I could not find that it actually does that, so I'm just going to mention that here. Is that a big deal? No. It still works. It seems to be great in a lot of other ways. So occasionally I find that the realistic ragdolls in Force is a little wacky, but that's always been the case, so nothing really new about that. Anything else? Some patches. Still working on this disarm. Now, I'm not using the difficulty mod, Dangerous Skyrim, that I had been using in the past, so this may not even end up being a thing at all, because without that mod, I'm finding I'm not being disarmed, so. Alright, we've gone through everything. I have run on. This video is probably much longer than you wanted, but occasionally I think it's good to do one where I talk about the things that I'm trying to accomplish and doing, and kind of let you know. I don't always get a chance to do a show on every one of these mods, so this just gives you a little insight to some of them in case I don't get around to doing a show, okay? Alright, thanks so much for watching. Hope you have a wonderful day, and I will catch you later. So I want to acknowledge these people who donate to the channel, who support the channel. They put their money where their mouth is, and I really do appreciate that. So thank you to these folks, and thank you to everyone for watching and supporting the channel. This has been an OwwThatSmarts production.
Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.